Crypto Kids, welcome back to another live stream. It's been a very long time since I've actually done a live show here on the Crypto Kid channel, but the price of Bitcoin is pumping and it's pumping pretty aggressively. So I thought, you know what? I don't have anything else to do. I was just preparing for the moon show, which will happen in a few hours time. So I wanted to just jump on and do a bit of streaming here on this channel because it's been a very long time and I missed streaming here. So I'm going to bring up the comments and see what you guys are up to. I was just watching Benjamin Cohen's analysis earlier on this morning because, I mean, he has some interesting perspectives on the market. He thinks with altcoins specifically that quantitative easing is just beginning, right? We're not seeing actual quantitative tightening. Or actually quantitative easing. So he thinks that Bitcoin and altcoins can continue dropping until that really does happen. So it was a little bit interesting, and I wanted to talk about his analysis particularly in this stream too. So the important thing is Bitcoin is pumping. We're currently trading at $87,875. Nothing insane, I know, but this ascending triangle is definitely breaking to the upside. So it's definitely broken. It's definitely confirmed it. And last night, I had a feeling. I was like, you know what, this chart looks like it's going to pump. This chart really does look like it's going to pump. We have the bullish divergence over on the daily time frame. So if you go here, daily time frame, you spoke about it on the show on this channel earlier on this morning. So we have the bullish divergence on the daily time frame. The ascending triangles, usually when they happen at a bottoming for Bitcoin, they tend to break towards the upside, even though they're usually a bearish pattern. I've noticed that on Bitcoin specifically, they tend to break to the upside when they're marking a local bottom. So I don't know. I just had a feeling last night that it would pump and I wanted to open a long position, but then I was like, we're already in like a couple of low lever trades. So I'm not going to put anything so much into it because I want to stick to my principles. You guys know that I'm not going to enter any massive long positions until Bitcoin decides to reach or in fact break above this downward sloping trend line over on the 4-hourly and daily time frame. So I'm not going to open anything crazy until we see a reversal of that specifically, and then I can jump into longer term swing trades. But right now, I don't know. I wanted to kind of ape into a degen position last night when I made the video. I decided to do that position over on Trump. And actually, I didn't check if I got liquidated there because we did see a dump to 11:30. Yeah, my liquidation was at 11:06. If you guys don't remember, President Trump posted about Trump coin again and it started pumping. So we made a video on that. But anyways, Bitcoin, I mean, a lot of people are celebrating. A lot of people are extremely happy. And that's good. We should be happy because the fundamentals super, super bullish. Macro long-term picture is still the same. You look at the daily time frame, you look at the global liquidity for Bitcoin. It's very possible that right now we're just with the 109, I think it was 109-day delay. Yeah, this was the most conservative option for global liquidity. With the 109-day delay for the price of Bitcoin and the global liquidity, we could be seeing this small pump right now. And again, we should be coming back to around 79,000, consolidate for a little longer, and then start exploding towards the upside. That's a massive possibility. I know a lot of people on YouTube are showing the global liquidity offset as 70. And that's what I was showing also not too long ago. But then I realized that, you know what, I like to look at things from the most conservative angle. So when you do want to take the most conservative angle, then the 109 delay or the 109-day lag between global liquidity and Bitcoin is showing to be the most accurate one overall. So I just wanted to have a look at the 70, but I don't know, I think my Wi-Fi is not looking like the best. But anyways, either we're at this point where Bitcoin is pumping and now we're going to see a pullback to the downside. That would make sense because we do have the Bitcoin CME gap at around $83,000 too. So let's go BTC1. That is definitely not the CME chart. There we go. This is the CME chart. So either this is the case. Okay, now it decides to load. So either this is the case and Bitcoin is going to now dump to around $84,000 to close the CME gap. So let's change this again to 109 days, 109. Okay, yeah, either this is the case and we're going to dump to 83 to close the CME gap. We do have it at $84,000. That is one possibility. And I think it's the most likely possibility because like 95% of the time, these CME gaps end up closing, whether if it's to the up or downside, even if it's a parabolic run and prices going up very fast or prices dumping very fast, and Bitcoin, just kind of wants to continue going up or continue going down, and then you create a CME gap, it can take a few months before that gap tends to close. But in this case, we're not seeing like a massive pump, and there isn't any massive, huge catalyst that's causing Bitcoin to pump so aggressively. So the likelihood of this CME gap closing is pretty real. So I would expect us to come down and retest this level before deciding to do what happens. So I think this is the picture here. We look at the global liquidity. We're right now seeing, so if I make sure that the price of Bitcoin, and this is on scale, so there you go. I think the picture is, we're seeing this rally. We're going to see that dump come down to the CME, which is 84K. We would end up coming a little bit lower, potentially even create this double bottom with a test at $78,000. And then we push to the further upside. I think that is the most likely scenario. And that's also why I don't want to FOMO into any long position, specifically because of the existence of that CME gap. And Bitcoin just tends to close them every single time. That is the bear case and the likely case scenario. The unlikely, but also a scenario that does have some sort of probability of happening, is that Bitcoin actually, instead of coming back down to create that double bottom and to close that CME gap, we can also continue rocketing from where we are right now. So we would have to put the 70-day lag onto it once again. And you would see that where Bitcoin is sitting now would be the following, right? You would be in that consolidation phase. And it makes sense because we were literally consolidating. It was a bit more ascending compared to what happened on the global liquidity where it was just flat. Bitcoin ascended, consolidated in a ascending manner. And now we're in this phase where, we go to around $90,000, hit that resistance because there is resistance at 90. So if we do this, so there you go. Look at that, retest here to the prior support, now resistance of $90,000. And then slowly you come up to 97, 96, again, some sort of resistance there on price action. And then you go up to 100, find support, find resistance, and then eventually break above prior all-time highs and continue on to something parabolic. That is also another scenario that I don't want to completely discount off of the table. So that is why, if you ask me, okay, CryptoKid, what is the best thing to do right now? How do I prepare for both of these scenario A and scenario Bs? Well, what I can tell you is, even if Bitcoin goes down to 84 again, or if Bitcoin decides to go up, like in both of these cases, eventually in the macro picture, and when I say macro, it isn't like a 6-month or an 8-month or a 1-year picture. In like the next upcoming weeks, Bitcoin always ends up going to the upside. So the only thing that you can do to prepare is to accumulate as much Bitcoin as you possibly can. And if you want to do that, and if you want to support this channel, then you can go to the links down in the description of today's video. We have our partnered exchanges, Coinflare and Weeks. Coinflare gives you up to $68,000 in rewards. And if you sign up to Bybit, you can actually make Bitcoin your standard and sign up for the Bybit card to do all your transactions in Bitcoin and USDT. So that basically when you transact and when you save in Bitcoin and when you receive Bitcoin as your payment, you don't have to off-ramp it into fiat and have to spend fiat instead of Bitcoin, because that's really not nice to do. So yeah, those are the two potential scenarios I'm looking at for Bitcoin. And again, I want to see, before I enter into any massive long position, I really want to see a breakout of this downward sloping trend line that's been, I'm streaming, bro. Yes. You can, but I'm streaming. Yeah, that's okay. So yeah, I want to see this downward sloping trend line break before jumping into any massive long position right here. And as every day passes, you are getting closer to this point of resistance. As every day passes, you're getting closer to it. And the price of which would be required to break above this resistance also therefore goes lower. So either today or tomorrow or in the minimum upcoming week or maximum upcoming week, we should be able to see some sort of a breakout or just a massive hard rejection. And if you're asking me, okay, CryptoKid, which one is the more likelier one for happening? I would say the break to the upside, but we shouldn't forget that the current consolidation we're seeing on the daily also reminds us of a bear flag. And I think Crypto, Chris, he posted it just a couple of hours ago. So let's see what he said. He said, Bitcoin, don't pop champagne yet. Water is better. Yeah, he's right. We do have this ascending sort of support and resistance. And you want to break above that. And the point of which you would be breaking on that resistance line of the bear flag is corresponding with the downward sloping trend line too. So you break above both of those. And then, yes, you can pop your champagne if that's what you want to do, because that would indicate Bitcoin has broken all the sort of consensus of tight resistance. And now we can keep pumping to the upside. Flav, by the way, actually, I can't tell you the thumbnail for the moon show because I'm streaming, so it doesn't really make sense. If you want to leave, you can leave, because maybe in like 10 minutes. Okay, cool, no worries. By the way, Flavio, the legend, is in the studio. So Flavio actually is the behind the scenes guy that creates all the Moonshow thumbnails. So usually this is the time where we group together and we brainstorm what we want to talk about on the Moonshow. But obviously I decided to do the stream, so we're going to have to do that a little bit later. And it's pretty cool, guys. I missed the Crypto Kids community when I stream. And this is a bit more of a relaxed setup. Moonshow is always back to back to back. We do breaking news and we can't really chill and we can't really talk about just price and everyday life. So this is pretty cool. And I may end up doing more streaming later on. So guys, by the way, if you destroy the like button and also subscribe to the channel, we're sitting at 47,953 subscribers. We're very close to 50,000. And I really, really want to get to 50,000 subscribers before the Bitcoin conference, which will happen in May. So I will be going to Vegas for the Bitcoin conference, and it's still unconfirmed, but we may be getting a Moonshow stand. So if you want to meet myself and also some of the Moonshow team, then you can come to the Bitcoin conference in Vegas. It's going to be the biggest conference in Bitcoin history. I mean, Nashville was huge. President Trump attended. I think this one will be pretty strong too in terms of attendees. They already have a couple of speakers announced. Of course, they've not announced all the speakers. I'm going to be speaking there too, but they haven't announced me yet. So I don't know if I was allowed to tell you that, but there you go. So Michael Saylor, Cynthia Lummis, Adam Beck, Bill Miller, Ivy. I still don't know who he is. He's super famous in the Bitcoin community, but I still don't know who he exactly is. Grant Cardone, Altcoin Daily Bros. Who else that I can see just off the top of my head? There's a lot of cool people. Actually, there's already a lot of cool people, but I have a feeling that the Trumps may be attending as well. So it's definitely a good one to go to if you're around in America. Actually, even if you're international, this is a conference I would recommend traveling to. So anyways, that's going to happen between May 7th to May 27th to the May 29th. And I'm going to be in LA, I think a little bit before. So if you guys are in Los Angeles and you're going to head to Vegas from Los Angeles, then you can let me know in the comments and in the Crypto Kids community. And maybe we can do a small get together at a restaurant or something. So that would be pretty cool. I want to go through some of your comments. I want to see what you guys are up to and where do you think the price will go to in the upcoming week? Wow, more speakers than attendees. Big Huggy says, thanks for the live feed, Crypto Kid. Keep up all the good work. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Lamal Lam. Yeah, I think the 84K CME gap will also likely close. I think that's what it looks like will happen. Already long from 78K with 25x leverage on Bitcoin. That's pretty cool. I mean, we did do... I think we spoke about it a couple of days ago. At this point, like I make so much content that like every single day feels like it's a week because we put out so much content. So anything that's happened in the past 2 days or 2 days ago, it feels like such a long time ago because, we stream and we make a lot of videos. So all that news or stuff that's happened very recently, actually in normal human time, feels like it was a long time ago. So here we said hidden bullish divergence on Bitcoin. CME gap at 77.8 is now closed. Up we go. That's exactly what happened. I think we made a video saying that it's a good time to buy here when that CME gap closed. So congrats if you did do so. But yeah, I mean, at this point, I'm basically buying as much Bitcoin as I possibly can every single day still. Whatever money I make, I just put it back into Bitcoin. But if we do like a clean analysis of this daily time frame, I mean, you see this double top that played out pretty nicely. You come down to its target. So if we go here, put it below the neckline. We didn't come to exactly 74, but we still came pretty close to it. So I think that's a already validated pattern, which we don't have to worry about anymore. Now we have a W forming, but it would require going above the neckline here at 94.7. We also have the bullish divergence on the RSI, which we spoke about. So bullish divergence, actually, yeah, still, I think it's still valid, still in play, the bullish divergence. But then, I'm not going to go into any massive long position because we're still not above that upper trend line. We're getting close to it, but still not above it. And I want to watch out for a potential bear flag and the CME gap closure. So until these two are invalidated, I'm not going to plan on jumping into any long. But what you could do, like I said in the beginning of the stream, is you can put limit orders to buy Bitcoin at the point of which we fill the CME gap at $84,000 right here. So that would be a nice limit entry into Bitcoin. Creative at shop, Crypto Kid, see my comment on your second channel. Let's have a look. So for those of you that don't know, I actually do have a second channel. Let's have a look. Here, I was thinking of doing like more vloggy stuff, but I don't know. Not my thing, to be honest. Maybe here? Yes. Can I be your video and thumbnail maker? Sure. Why not? You can send me your stuff. If you're in the Crypto Kids community, you can send me a couple of your stuff and I'll take a look. Why not? If you go to the description here, this is the community. And if you send me your stuff, I'll see it. And if it's cool, then why not? Thanks for your comment, man. Like Crypto, dude, I saw your video. I watched your video in the weekend. I think it was yesterday. You made an updated version of your favorite channels. And again, thank you so much for your kind words. You're great, man. I watched your Caspa videos, and if you keep them up, I'm sure you're going to grow in no time. So thank you again for watching the Moon Shows, my videos, and keep up the good work. You're going to do fantastically well. New all-time high just before the Vegas summit, then small bear summer, Q4 boom, 200,000. Yeah, it sounds likely. It does sound likely, man. I don't deny a possibility of that happening. By the way, in the next 2 hours time, Michael Saylor will likely announce that he has bought Bitcoin. So it's going to happen at some point during the day. But usually he announces that he purchased Bitcoin at around 5 p.m. GST time when he does those Monday buys. So he would have already bought the Bitcoin, but he's just going to announce that he purchased those Bitcoin. FYI, this was what he posted 22 hours ago. It needs more orange. So yeah, he likely bought more Bitcoin and he will announce it today. It won't have a market impact, but just cool that he's keep on buying. Do I have any breaking news specifically that I want to talk about? This was pretty cool. Metaplanet hosted a summit. And look at this. The attendance was insane. This was in Japan. And guys, if you don't know, if you're not an OG, Andreas Antata, man, I can't say his last name. Andreas, what was his last name? Andreas Antonopoulos, Bitcoin. Andreas Antonopoulos. So he's a Bitcoin legend, incredible person. And you can see the evolution of Bitcoin conferences since the OG times to now. It's pretty insane. And this is in Japan. So it's pretty crazy how much attention Bitcoin is seeing, especially in the public equity and the institutional side. And it'll just keep on growing. President Donald Trump's World Liberty Financial just spent 3 million USDT also to buy 3.54 million of Mantle, up 7% in the past 24 hours. Guys, I think I'm going to close off the stream because I actually need to prepare for the Moon Show. So I wanted to do like a quick show, just go over Bitcoin pumping. Currently it's sitting at around 87,600. So yeah, we should be able to catch if the pump continues in 2 hours time over on the Moonshow channel. Ethereum 2.1, which is cool. Um, don't mind the squiggly lines. So yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching. That was just a very quick stream. And if you want more Bitcoin analysis, then stay tuned on the Moonshow channel. With that said, have a great day, and I'll see you all on the next show very soon. Take care and bye bye.